Hello. So, I'm reading a book at the moment. This is the book On the Side of Angels. It's a book about the life of Gordon Higginson. Now, the reason I'm reading it, I've read it before, is for someone that loves trance mediumship, which I do. I love it, and I have for as long as I can remember. Now, I'm not that far into the book again, but I'm reading Gordon Higginson's thoughts upon trance mediumship, and I want to share some stuff with you. So I'm going to read out of the book here. Where are we? Okay. He says, I believe that every genuine medium is a potential trance worker. If you are truly in touch with spirit influences, then you need to bring that influence closer into your life. When people say they are natural mediums, all too often they mean they can see what they see, but do not depend upon the spirit to see it. I would contradict that and say that you cannot work without spirit influence. If you're a mere psychic, then you don't have this quality. You are not a medium. All mediums possess powers of value that can be used by spirit. So, it makes a really good point that trance mediumship isn't a niche. It's not, a very obscure aspect of mediumship. And I think if you are inspired by people like Gordon Higginson, then it's worth considering that someone that was one of the very best exponents of mediumship in many of its different facets, he has these kind of thoughts about it. Now, he goes on to say something else here, and it says, I do think that a lot of people still have a fear of trance. They worry about what is happening, what is going on. They worry particularly about the unconscious state and who will be working through them and if it will be right. What they must realize is that like attracts like. In spiritualism, that is particularly true. It is important to develop this gift properly so that a trust is built up between the medium and spirit workers. If this is established, then there will be no fear. So it comes down to a point that I regularly discuss with students, is that this, who works with me, what's the name, where are they from, etc., etc. And the real answer is it doesn't matter. Like attracts like, so the vibration you're sending out, so shall you receive. Really important to consider this. Now, there was something else that I needed to just emphasize here. Okay. Okay, so he says just on the following page, I believe this form of mediumship has a very important place in the future of spiritualism. It is very evidential. I think there are many who have the ability but don't recognize this. The first thing that anyone training to develop trance must recognize is that it involves a change in personality. In the early days, in the early stages, I beg your pardon, they must not be afraid if they realize they are aware of what is going on. This is a fairly common mistake. People think that they must be in the unconscious state for it to be genuine. This is not true. They will start in the semi-conscious state, but the unconscious will come later. So Gordon Higginson, obviously he did go into that unconscious state where there was that lack of awareness. Now, again, so many times people say, but I was aware of what I was saying. This gentleman knew his mediumship very, very well. So why not take that insight that he had, that he shared in the book, and use it to consider, are you making more of an issue of what you believe to be holding you back or stopping you realizing your potential? Now, there was something else that I wanted to get to you. Okay, mediums will very often see the first signs of this when giving their address. So obviously he's talking about, taking a service, and we stand up and we give an address to the congregation of matters of a spiritual nature. The powers take over and they find themselves saying things that are not necessarily their own opinions. The knowledge is there, but the spirit world imposes strong influence upon what is said. So, once more, the influence comes from spirit, but we are part of that process. And when we recognize that, I think it'll allow us to really appreciate that it is this sense of cooperation, that the spirit world just need the opportunity from you to make yourself aware of their presence by getting into that power, getting into that connection, so that they can influence you. This is what it's all about, I feel. Be under the influence of spirit. Allow them to add texture to what you say. He also makes an interesting point just here at the bottom of this page. He says, in the past, all mediums developed trance before they developed their mediumship into clairvoyance and clairaudience. It is never too late. A lot of people go on for years and then find that something is happening. They are feeling the power of spirit and the takeover that happens in a trance state. At certain times in your life, your mediumship will change and you find yourself involved in things that you didn't imagine would be possible. Changes take place, but only when you are ready for that experience. So lots of points are made there by someone of great stature, certainly within the SNU movement, but in spiritualism in general. If you see him just as the medium rather than the head of an organization, whether you agree with organizations or not, let's base it upon his insight. And it's certainly something that I agree with, not because he's said it here, but because I've come to that realization myself, and other people I know have. And then there was just this knowing that trance was the hub, the foundation of all aspects of mediumship. And then when I read that in here, I thought I need to share this, because if you don't want to listen to what I have to say, then listen to what he has to say, because it seems that there's a real similarity between the 2 points of view. And so it was just I just happened to want to read this today. And as I read it, I think to myself, hang on a minute, this talks about things that regularly come up in the trance classes that I run. Now, so when you're developing trance, all of the things that we spoke about, the awareness of what's being said, is it me? Is it spirit? Well, the short answer is both of you. But the more that you exercise this faculty, the more that you use the opportunity to connect to that power of spirit, the more that your spirit team come around you and start to influence and to inspire you, then the greater the content of the delivery of the message. And what medium wouldn't want to feel the presence of spirit with greater clarity, to become, in essence, the communicator themselves, really taking on the character, the persona, the personality, knowing that the voice may not sound like your voice, but that's okay. This is surely what we're all looking to achieve, is that sense that what is said, what is felt, what is known isn't just our imagination. That the spirit world can, through this connection, become something much greater through this ability for the medium and the spirit world to come together. Surely that has to be what we're aiming to do. So obviously Gordon has been passed to spirit now just over 30 years. And I don't know when exactly, he came to this conclusion. It's very early in the book. But let's say it was 20 years before he passed, or 50 years before he passed. The fact is that understanding is now at least 70 or 80 years. And what's changed? If anything, we've gone backwards. In my understanding, when I watch and when I listen to people, they're frightened of trance. They're suspicious of it. There's a lot of confusion about what it is and what it isn't, and why bother developing it. It's like we, as trance mediums, we are on a limb very far away from the rest of the tree of spiritualism or mediumship. We're on that far limb where we daren't tread because it's something that's just is not needed. But if that insight came to me, and I'm no one special, then what's to stop everyone else coming to that same insight? It's about being influenced by spirit and allowing the spirit world to inspire you in such a way that you think, I really feel this connection. I know that the spirit world wish to communicate through me and with me. Now, I really feel that influence of my spirit friends. So what I'm going to do is give them the opportunity now, through that blending and through that attunement, to share some words, some thoughts and opinions. Let's see where it goes. Hey, okay, so just going to go into that quiet space. Let's invite the spirit world to share my mind, to allow their thoughts, their opinions, their essence to become part of who I am. And I consciously welcome those that guide me, those that seek to inspire me, and ask that, as always, I connect to that vibration of unconditional love. That I feel their love embrace me. I feel their personality becoming part of my awareness. That process takes place willingly. Is the message
of spirit, not to prove the survival of the personality that inhabited the body. In essence, to expose the truth that your loved ones are more alive than they ever were when they dwelled upon the earth. That the presence of their soul, the eternal soul, the everlasting soul, goes on. That death cannot take away that which is eternal. Death is like a smoke that rises into the heavens. Temporary transition of physical into spiritual. A movement between dimensions. Grief, that great darkness of grief that may have enveloped you. No, no, it shall not envelop you. The light of the Spirit, that is what should envelop you. The light of that which is eternal. Grief dwells upon you like a fog, stopping you from seeing what is really there. And when the winds of eternal life cast aside the fog of grief, the clarity will show you that life goes on. It has always gone on. To be receptive to the inspiration of the unseen world. That is your job. That is what you are. A voice, a mouthpiece for those who dwell in this non-physical form. For those who are silent until you seek to give us a voice. And what of the connection? What will it bring you? If it is truly of the spirit realm, it will bring you the essence of who we are. You will know us because you will feel us. Doubt will be cast aside from your mind. For as you perceive us, so shall you know us. So shall all doubt be cast aside from you. Spirit recognizes spirit. And here we are. Communion, a camaraderie, a brotherhood in its truest sense of the word. Beyond all race, but the human race. We walk among you. Ours is the eternal journey until we may seek to take a physical form once more. To face the challenges of physical life. In some way, the challenges have never been greater. In other ways, life has never been easier. The distractions of life. This is what you must consider. If you truly want to be more connected to spirit, then I say dedicate your time to us. We will meet you halfway on the bridge between your reality and ours. Ask, and we will do our utmost to tell you, to show you, to guide you, so that you may know the truth of who you are. There is no greater truth, my friends, than that of the fact that you cannot die. Death of the physical form is the only death that you can have. But you are greater than just the physical form. You are so much greater. In your dreaming hours, when your mind wanders, when you are not obsessed with the life that you are leading, it is our moment to touch upon your soul with a gentle wave of spiritual knowledge. When you make yourselves available to us, we have a voice. You can be our artist, an orator, a spokesman or woman. But do not leave us in silence, forever silenced by not having the courage to stand there and say, I will be the voice of spirit. I will be the writer with my pen guided by those of the unseen world. My friends, see the great service that you bring upon your brethren. Know the great service as your voice carries the wisdom of those ancestors that have preceded you. The great generosity of your spirit will be served equally by the generosity of our world. And let it never be said that you are alone. There is no greater lie that you are ever alone. despite how you may feel at times. Call upon us and we shall be at your shoulder. We will be supporting you. Our arm underneath your arm. Our love within the words that you share. Our influence within your thoughts. Go forward. Know your true power. And do not let anyone extinguish the light of your soul. For your power is yours. So manifest it in every way that is holy and sacred. My friends, we've released a boy into the arms of awareness, and we leave him in the embrace and the love of the world of spirit, and those who seek to speak with him, through him. Thank you, my friends, for listening to my humble words, as am I, and only a spiritual brother of yours. In blessings always.
Okay. Right. So we just need to make ourselves open to the presence of spirit. How they choose to work with you is a matter of your own judgment and giving them the opportunity. So I think this time spent has been valuable, because I personally didn't have an understanding of trance, and yet it's probably the first thing that I felt. With hindsight, I didn't know it at the time, but with hindsight, I felt that presence of spirit. I felt myself becoming different. And as time has gone on, I've realized that that obviously was the spirit world making themselves known to me, and I was receptive to it. I didn't know I was, though, but I was feeling something. I was feeling this change in my energy. These thoughts were coming into my mind, and I knew that they weren't my thoughts. Images were there, but the feeling, the essence, that presence of a guide or inspirer, that was there. So one thing to mention is, if you are interested in developing your trance mediumship, if you would like private tuition, or if you would like to join a Friday circle that I have starting on September the 8th, so not too long now. It's 6 2-hour sessions at 7 p.m. on a Friday, UK time, obviously till 9 p.m. And it's not for complete beginners. It's for mediums that wish to develop their trance mediumship. And we cover aspects like maybe what I've just done. Well, it will be stuff that I've just done. So allowing the spirit world to have a voice, your voice, and having the opportunity for loved ones to have your voice, to be inspired, and to work with people that are like you. But irrespective of your state of awareness, as long as you have an understanding of trance and you're confident in allowing the spirit world to speak with you, even if it's not for, 20 minutes or half an hour, that doesn't matter, because your ability will get stronger the more you use that awareness. So if you want to join the group, there are spaces. It starts September the 8th at 7 p.m. and you're welcome to send me a message to andrewcodling.com if you want to use the website, or you can find me on Facebook and Andrew Codling, Medium and Tutor. So that's one possibility. If you want private one-to-one tuition for your trance mediumship, which will absolutely help the other aspects of your mediumship, whether it's healing, sitting in a seance cabinet, doing messages, working platform, whatever, it will help. So we can work together. There are special offers where you get a free lesson. If you pay for 5, you get the 6th lesson free. So, or you can just have a one-off lesson if you just want to see how your trance is. So we can do that. There are 2 courses running at the moment. One's for confident trance mediums. So we've got one more session with that course. Then possibly, if the interest is there, we will have another course for more confident trance mediums in the near future. And there is another course for like an introduction to trance mediumship, where there is that hand holding, lots of questions are asked, and I take you through that process of connection, understanding of the whys and the wherefores and the how. And it's a very supportive group, and we're having a great experience at the moment with the current students. There's a couple more sessions with those guys, and again, maybe in the near future another course will start. So there are opportunities to work with the trance. So I want you to bear in mind what the great man himself said, and that is that he believes, in his opinion, and I think it carries greater weight than mine to a degree. His opinion was that trance mediumship would be that founding level of awareness, working on that before clairvoyance and clairaudience. So it's an interesting perspective, isn't it? And probably one that maybe some of you haven't considered. So there we go. Now, I will bring this chat to a close now, but if you want to contact me, like I said, andrewcodling.com, and I will be pleased to chat to you about your development and help you in any way that I can. If you want readings, evidential readings, or a spiritual assessment, then I also offer them. So I look forward to hearing from you. Take care, and speak to you sometime soon. Bye now.